our engagement with the ruling party, we want them to clearly inform the country how they view the transition. The departure of General Museveni is not a question of if or whether, it is imminent. And therefore, we cannot allow the ruling party to collapse on the nation. So we want to engage them on how they construe. I know most of the actors in the ruling party are frightened by the sheer mention of the transition. We want them to start getting used to discussing the transition because it's a must. And if you do not have a conversation about the transition, the country will collapse on them. But we want them to collapse in the sea, not on the nation. So we want to offer them a platform to speak about the possibility of this country transitioning, which is inevitable. We would be a bunch of fools at this stage in the life of this nation if we disregarded the conversation about the transition. The members of the ruling party must be part of this conversation. Some of them are terrible humans, we know them. They have visited violations on our people, but they remain part of Uganda. But like we said, once the country transitions, our intention is not to occasion revenge and retribution, but to allow the country to speak to justice. That we have spoken about, and we insist it should be the best way of building an enduring democracy and a durable constitutional order in this country. I fully appreciate your concern because I know it's not a personal concern. You're a public voice, which I fully appreciate. Mr. Mrwana, aka Alien Skin, is a public pariah. We all know him. I know him. He is a victim. He's not a culprit. Him and others are victims of neglect. Okay, these are young people, extremely gifted young people that have been neglected. And because of that neglect, they choose to be what they are. And when he reached out, he said, I want to be a better citizen. Can you help us be better citizens? And we said, yes, we can. And the contents of the MOU are nothing but to say, we want you to help us in these areas. And in the coming weeks and months, you will see more of him. And I can tell you, we are going to try and turn him into a better citizen. I never grew up with him. I didn't know him. But I used to listen to his music. I could see the young people following him. Any serious leader must be interested in that kind of person. But I've also seen the shenanigans around his life and so many other people. But I can tell you, he is much better than so many actors in public life, including men and women in suits. A man of limited abilities, he needs to be supported and helped, not to be condemned. You know, is there a constituency? Is there a place where goons in this country must be settled? So it's the duty of leaders to reach out to people. You see, we live in a generation of lost people, lost young people. And I want to invite everybody to try and support him. I could see a kind of line from out there, including from serious media actors trying to misdirect the message he gave last time on 6th, deliberately to try and impute. He was explaining his situation, how he ended up in prison, and was juxtaposing it to my situation. And he ended up saying, there are so many innocent people in prison. So I was shocked to see serious media editors deliberately misinforming, misconstructing his message. I can tell you, we are going to support that young man and his people. I know they have so many problems, drug abuse they're dealing with. They're scattered young people, no education, no parentage. It's not easy, but it's better than allowing that generation to descend into the abyss without an attempt. So we are making an attempt, and that attempt must be appreciated. And I cannot roll out that back, okay? Otherwise, if we leave them to the world to judge them and abandon them, we shall have ourselves to blame going forward. And to speak about the issue of joint candidates, Yes, I said that the DA, in what we are writing to the political groups and platforms, has two major thrusts. One is electoral and political reforms. Two is what I said, a possibility of electing a joint electoral platform. And I said that's a long-term project that require an up-close conversation to try and understand and appreciate the interest at play. Okay, it's delicate. It will have to involve us roll out a framework, and the framework has not been discussed. So when you roll out a joint electoral platform, you must have a framework to discuss how power can be shared on a joint electoral platform. Those are details. So we haven't discussed them, therefore we cannot speak about them. But it's one of our intentions in the rollout intention to engage. Do we intend to police our servants? When we are ready, we shall inform them. We don't inform our servants first. No, when we are prepared, we shall inform them. Who are we? We are Ugandans. Okay? Every Ugandan can inform the police that I want to have a meeting here. It's not a preserve of registered organizations. You surely know that I'm a lawyer and a good one at that. So I understand fully what the law says, and therefore, at the right time, we shall duly inform the police. We do not intend to have run-ins. We intend to engage with the people, and we want the engagements to be peaceful engagements. But if anybody has the intention of fighting with us, that's their business. Our choice is to engage, and we shall inform whoever we desire to inform as the law prescribes.